नमस्कार, सुप्रभात। श्रीराम कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स के 96 और 97 वार्षिक दिवस समारोह में आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है। With immense pleasure, we welcome the distinguished chief guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India, to Shriram College of Commerce. Today, for this August day, a bookmark in the pages of SRCC, we have with us Shri Ajay S. Shriram, Chairman SRCC Governing Body, esteemed members of the Governing Body, senior functionaries of the University of Delhi, celebrated alumni, esteemed dignitaries, our former faculty members and non-teaching staff members, our principal, members of teaching staff, members of non-teaching staff, award winners, parents, and our dear students. We welcome everyone to the 96th and 97th Annual Day of SRCC. दीप प्रज्वलन प्रतीकात्मक है अंधकार और अज्ञान के ऊपर ज्ञान और बुद्धिमत्ता की विजय का। आज के शुभ अवसर की औपचारिक शुरुआत हम दीप प्रज्वलन से करेंगे हमारे माननीय अतिथियों के कर कमलों द्वारा। We request our honorable dignitaries to kindly proceed for the lamp lighting ceremony, following which they are requested to offer floral tributes to honor our visionary founder, Sir Shriram, an eminent philanthropist, a public-spirited industrialist, an educationist, and one of the trend-setting leaders of the Indian business community. In our rich tradition, Goddess Saraswati is the divine personification of knowledge and wisdom. We seek to invoke the blessings of the Almighty in a harmonious rendition of Saraswati Vandana by Team Arohan, the Indian Music Society of SRCC.
Dhanyavad sir, Dhanyavad ma'am, Dhanyavad team Arohan. We request everyone to kindly rise for the Delhi University Kulgeet.
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम सकल वसुधा निज कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धाराओं का संगम
देश की स्वाधीनता हित भूमिका शतकोटि वंदन
निष्ठा धृति सत्यम के मंगल दिव्य भावों का समागम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
भव्य महाविद्यालयों के परिसरों से चिर सुशोभित श्रेष्ठ गुरुजन कर रहे नित्य छात्र और छात्राएं दीक्षित
सदचरित्राचार पावन साधना संकल्प संयम
नवल वैश्विक चेतना नव क्रांति संस्कारों का उद्गम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
Thank you everyone. We request our chairman sir to formally welcome our distinguished chief guest with a sampling symbolic of growth and prosperity. Thank you, sir. We now invite Professor Simrit Kaur, Principal Shriram College of Commerce, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to our dignitaries on the dais. Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Honorable Union Finance Minister and Corporate Affairs Minister, Government of India. Shri Ajay Shriram ji, Chairman, Shriram College of Commerce, Governing Body. Ms. Anita Mathur, the Senior Most Faculty of SRCC, and Dr. Alok Kumar, the Convenor of the Annual Day. Also, wholeheartedly welcome members of the SRCC community, that is our distinguished alumni, teaching and non-teaching staff members, both current and former, award winners, students, and our esteemed guests in the audience for the 96th and 97th Annual Day of the College. A special thanks to some of the ex-principals which are sitting. Thank you so much, Professor Mathur, for being with us today. And I would also take the special mention of Mr. Kawase-san, MD, MUFG Bank, for being with us today, and their over 25 years of long association with SRCC in terms of giving us scholarships for our students. Thank you all. The annual day is a celebration of the achievements of our SRCC community and also a day to reflect on the year gone by. This year, we are celebrating 2 annual days together, primarily because of the COVID pandemic, which had led to staggered academic calendars. We are indeed honored to have with us Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Honorable Union Finance Minister and Corporate Affairs Minister, as our distinguished chief guest. As the Finance Minister of the largest democracy in the world, ma'am has one of the most challenges tasks, not just for developing economies, but maybe on the planet. we were all witness to how efficiently ma'am ensured that India remains the fastest growing economy despite the COVID pandemic. And if we have heard about very steep V-shaped growth paths, it is primarily because of the fiscal policies initiated by ma'am under her guidance, because we all know during that time the monetary and exchange rate policies were not very effective in promoting growth and development. Excellent policies. A thank you to you from the side of Shriram College of Commerce community as well. As we move towards our centenary, we take forward our vision of being a college of global choice through a carefully conceptualized philosophy of 7 E principles. It is indeed because of everyone till now who has been associated as a stakeholder of SRCC that we have been able to attain this position and also maintain the position. Allow me to speak on 3 fronts today. One would be the 7 E philosophies, basis which we are trying to attain our vision of becoming a college of global choice. I will follow this with the second part of my address related to the new initiatives that SRCC has taken in terms of research, consultancy, and training. And I will take this opportunity of introducing the 5 A's of Arthashastra, through which we are planning to exhibit one of our interactions and collaborations with the Ministry of Culture. And finally, the day for our students. I would like to close my interaction today basis the message for the students and convey our best wishes to them. Coming to the first, what has made SRCC what it is? Of course, every stakeholder associated with Shriram College of Commerce is responsible for why we are what we are today. Presently, we are following a 7E approach to ensure that we maintain the legacy of Shriram College of Commerce, having got an A++ in NAC, and also having been rated #1 commerce college across any ranking framework. The first of the E's is erudition. We ensure that profound knowledge is given to our students. The second E, enrichment. We ensure that there is an enhancement of thoughts, wisdom, attitude, belief, and action in our students. Third is expansion. By expanding the physical and the soft infrastructure, our basic purpose is to facilitate our students in also simultaneously promoting their intellectual and emotional well-being. Also, empowerment. What are we supposed to empower? All those, especially the ones who are a little disadvantaged. It could be across socio-economic backgrounds. It could be across gender. Any aspect where empowerment is required, we are there. And in one of the E's, which is our engagement with the rest of the society, we empower not just the people within SRCC, but also communities, institutions, students outside of the SRCC fraternity. And with this, there are 2 E's left. One is exploration. The desire to learn, unlearn, and relearn is what we try to imbibe in our students so that they are able to better understand what risks are and how to charter their own life journey. Finally, when we are talking about sensitivity towards the environment, it's very important for sustainable development, mitigating the climate footprints. Every student, every staff and non-teaching member is always encouraged to remain proactive towards the climate aspect. And it gives me immense pleasure. We've been awarded several awards by the Ministry of Education to be a green and clean environment. Now, if there are 7 E's, I would like to connect it how we are trying to do different aspects. Of course, time is limited. There are 2 annual days we are celebrating. But allow me to, among several other dimensions, to discuss what we have done in the area of research, training, and consultancy. We now understand that being a commerce and economics college, it is so very important to understand ancient Indian economic thoughts, trade, commerce. And for this, we have initiated a Center for Indian Economic History, under which we have already got 4 projects, 3 by the Ministry of Culture and 1 by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Primarily, our approach has been to understand ancient thoughts, ancient wisdom, and ancient ways in which trade would take place basis which we were able to attain great heights in the global contribution to GDP, and also understand the trajectory since then, understand where we were at the time of independence, and then link it with the present. And the 5 phases in which we are planning to take forward the exhibition, which is expected to take place in next month through an international conference as well, is an approach of the 5 A's. The first A is Adhyan. We must be sure where our books are going to be. A corner is being created in the library where all books of the ancient history are going to be exhibited. Adhyatma. We seek to study the philosophical basis and the foundations of Indian economic wisdom on our ancient scriptures. Adhinayak. We must know what are philosophers such as Kautilya, Shukracharya, Bhishma, and Narad, what they were propagating, and how it compares with the present-day contemporaries of the philosophers. We also are taking forward Abhishasan. Governance is something which Madam is also handling so very well. And in one of the lectures that we were attending, we were told what is an optimal taxation amongst the ancient scriptures. It's say a bee has to take only that much amount of the nectar that the flower also flourishes and the honey is also produced. And very sure with the kind of taxation policies, we are better able to collect the revenues through various sources of revenue collection, and also the allocation in terms of taking care of the underprivileged, the safety net programs, including the benefits that we as higher education institution are getting from the UGC, are basis the revenues that are collected by the department. Thank you, ma'am, once again for this. And very often, I don't shy away from saying the motivation to take up all this was coming from our finance minister's budget speeches, where very frequently and also very fluently shlokas from the ancient scriptures are often spoken about. Regarding the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, allow me to inform the audience over here that our basic objective would be how the consumers have been protected in ancient India, what has been the legal metrology, because if your quantities and your prices are well systemized in a market economy, only that is an essential feature what can make you a global partner. So we are analyzing that, and we are very close to finalization of this very project. 2 other MOUs that I would like to highlight. One of them is related to Madam's department also, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We are probably the only undergraduate college which is training the ICLS Academy officers on several modules, be it accounting, advanced accounting, be it financial derivatives, public policy and governance, or just corporate governance. We have maintained this MOU for the past 6 years, and ma'am, very happy, and to everybody else in the audience, my esteemed distinguished guests too. We also have an MOU with the Reserve Bank of India, where our faculty goes and trains the RBI officers of grade B and grade C, and trains them on economic concepts of how they can be applied in the real world environment. We have trained them both at Mumbai and Pune so far, and based upon our feedback, we have been asked to have more modules with them. One which has been submitted as public policy and governance. We are awaiting the result for that. We have also been training other institutions, and one such is the Shriram colleges. We recently undertook a project with them at Jabalpur. But while at the one hand we are taking forward ancient Indian economic scriptures, we are not shying away from Industry 4 and Industry 5 concepts. One of the projects which we recently completed for the Competition Commission of India was actually on surge pricing and algorithmic collusion on cab aggregators, which are all digital platforms. Pleased to inform that our recommendations have already been taken up by the CCI, and both Ola and Uber are being regulated through the competition issues on a project which was carried out by Shriram College of Commerce. Finally, my students for the day, for whom this annual day is being celebrated, to formally close my address, some thoughts and heartfelt wishes to the graduating batch. As an institution, we invest in you, seeking to transform you to become a globally responsible social citizen. You have to be responsible to yourself, your family, your community, your nation, the globe. And in this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, what has been our tagline for the G20, we must ensure that it's a one earth, one planet one family, and this is the spirit with which we have to move forward. And also remember in your journey, there will be days of success, there will be days of happiness, but there are also going to be days of not so good experience. Let every experience make your personality. Let every experience make you grow, because it's very important to understand you grow through what you go through. Thank you so much, and best wishes to my students community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Shri Ajay S. Shriram, Chairman of the SRCC governing body, is the Chairman and Senior Managing Director of DCM Shriram Limited. He has also been the President of Confederation of Indian Industry and President and Chairman of International Fertilizer Industry Association, Paris. Under his progressive vision and dynamic leadership, the college continues to remain a preeminent academic trendsetter, achieving newer paradigms in higher education and setting new benchmarks and definitions in academic excellence. May we request, sir, to address the audience?
Thank you. Honorable Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Finance Minister and Minister of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, Professor Mathur, member of our governing body of SRCC, Professor Simrit Kaur, past principal who's here also, Professor Gupta, other faculty members, members of the alumni of SRCC, media friends, and most importantly, our students. We are indeed privileged and delighted to have amongst us Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman as the chief guest for the 96th and 97th Founders' Day of the college. She needs no introduction as her reputation precedes her. Ma'am, it would be a cliche if I were to say that all finance ministers face immense challenges, but it would not be wrong for me to say that you have probably been confronted by an onslaught of external economic shocks more than anyone else, and over which you had little control. Under such trying conditions, you have steered the Indian economy with such incredible depth that it has allowed us to emerge as the fastest growing large economy in the world, which is very remarkable. This is indeed no mean achievement. To start with, the disruption caused by the pandemic was unprecedented. I recall you came up with a series of bold measures to reform the economy at a time when there was despair and helplessness. In particular, I recall your statement, and I will quote, "No one will go hungry in the country." Subsequently, the world has seen immense challenges on account of supply chain disruptions and commodity inflation on account of the war in Ukraine. While India could not escape these challenges, measures such as keeping a check on the fuel prices, continued supply of free food, simplifying the tax regime, reduction in corporate tax, significant enhancement of capex, maintaining a fine balance in the budget deficits, and so on, have ensured that we remain on a sustained growth path. To me, one of the most remarkable achievements under your stewardship has been that despite pressures, the government has never sacrificed the long-term good for the sake of short-term political gains. It is therefore not surprising that the world has begun to look at India with a different lens. Boardrooms across the globe are putting in place an India strategy, and numbers of terms of FDI money, FDI inflows, FII inflows, remittances echo the positive sentiment of the Indian economy. Ma'am, while you celebrate our success, there is one conundrum that has perplexed me, and that is the wide disparity in the per capita income across states. The range is quite large, from approximately rupees 50,000 to rupees 3 lakhs per capita amongst the large states. This is a factor of 6 times. I am aware that the central government has an aspirational district scheme for the poorest districts in India. There is also an inbuilt mechanism based on the Finance Commission recommendations that ensures that relatively less well-off states get a larger share of funds from the central pool. The thought comes to mind is, what can we do and what can industry do to sort of help in increasing the per capita income levels in states where it is very low? And how do we increase the entire economy of India if the states which have a low income, per capita income and low GDP growth, if they go up, the whole of India will benefit from this tremendously. I'll share a brief background of the college. Shriram College of Commerce, the second oldest college of Delhi University, was founded in 1926 by Sir Shriram, a leading educationalist, philanthropist, and industrialist. It has since grown in stature to become the most prestigious education institution in the field of commerce and economics. It has the distinction of being ranked as the #1 commerce college under the NAC ranking system, and we achieved a ranking of 3.75, which is the highest for any commerce college in the country. Its students have excelled in many walks of life and have brought fame both to the college and to the nation. My compliments to the faculty, staff, and students. Our most illustrious alumni, late Shri Arun Jaitley, who was your colleague in the cabinet, ma'am, was a source of great strength to the college and an active governing body member. In fact, he came on the governing body before I did, and his support, his commitment, his ideas and strength was phenomenal for the college. We really miss him enormously. As we approach our centenary year in 2026, we have set ambitious goals for ourselves, which include adding modern infrastructure, creating smart classrooms that are amenable for hybrid mode of teaching, enhancing our digital footprint dramatically, introducing new courses, and above all, enhancing the student experience for their holistic development. A new multi-storied academic block is planned to be constructed just behind the auditorium. This has become a necessity in light of the doubling of students over the last some years. The process of seeking regulatory approvals is underway. The college has endeavored to maintain high standards of academic excellence, and this is borne out by the results seen at the university, civil services, and professional examinations. To create a conducive learning environment, the governing body of Shriram College of Commerce has taken several initiatives to upgrade the campus infrastructure. In fact, in the part of the ongoing process is upgradation of this auditorium where we are sitting in today. A major step forward during the current year has been the intake of permanent faculty after a long gap. The addition of 71 new faculty members in all departments will provide a boost to our academic excellence. I would like to extend my thanks to Professor Mathur, who chaired the selection committee, and to Professor Simrit Kaur and her team for the great job they did and the amount of time and effort they put in to select faculty who become permanent now. SRCC achieved this excellence due to the efforts of the faculty and staff of the college. It is equally important to continuously upgrade skills at all levels. We do believe that outside-in learning is very important in any function or any profession one is in. That's why we want our faculty to get exposure outside. We encourage them to go to international exhibitions, conferences, debates, and discussions to get new ideas and thoughts as to how we can continuously keep upgrading Shriram College of Commerce. The college is moving ahead in implementing the new education policy in both letter and spirit. On behalf of the governing body, I can assure everyone that we will consistently work to further enhance the academic excellence and reputation of the college so that it can make its rightful contribution to nation building. The students of SRCC have played an exemplary role in enhancing the image of the college. I take this opportunity to congratulate all the students who are to receive awards today for their tremendous achievements in the college. Ma'am, I would like to thank you once again for coming to our college and inspiring our students. I'm certain they will cherish the memories of the interaction they will have with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your constant motivation and perpetual guidance. It is rightly said, finance is the lifeblood of any economy. Today we have with us Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, ma'am, as the distinguished chief guest. She is the current Union Minister of Finance and Minister of Corporate Affairs in the Government of India since 2019. She is a Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament since 2014. Previously, she held the portfolio of Defence Minister of India, Minister of State for Finance and Corporate Affairs, and Minister for Commerce and Industry. She is a graduate in economics and a postgraduate from JNU, which awarded her the Distinguished Alumni Award in 2019. Prior to joining politics, she worked as a senior manager in the Research and Development Department for PricewaterhouseCoopers and also had a stint at the BBC World Service. She was also a member of the National Commission for Women. In 2006, she joined the BJP and became the national spokesperson for the party in 2010. Ma'am is a trendsetter in politics. In 2017, she became the Union Minister of Defence. She is the second female to hold this post after Srimati Indira Gandhi and the first to hold it full-time. She is the first female Finance Minister of India, marking a historical milestone, breaking traditional gender barriers in the field of finance and economics. Ma'am is widely respected and acknowledged for her global outlook and visionary economic policies. This was exemplary during the COVID-19 crisis, where, as the in charge of the COVID-19 Economic Response Task Force, she unveiled Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, where 20 lakh crore rupees relief package, in addition to implementing previous packages announced by the Government of India and the Central Bank, were released. She is credited with bringing a sea change in the tax structure and its interface with the citizens and bringing trust-based taxation policies. Ma'am is featured in the Forbes list of world's 100 most powerful women. Fortune has named her the most powerful woman in India. Ma'am, it's truly a privilege to have you here at SRCC. We invite you for your address, ma'am.
Good morning. Shri Ajay, Shriram, the principal of the college, faculty members, former principals, former students, and the students of today, media, to all of you all, my greetings and good wishes. I feel very privileged to be here today to talk to you all. As was mentioned, founded in 1926, Shriram College is closer to celebrating its centenary year. And you have a fourth generation member of the family who founded this institution, and it must be very fulfilling as a member of that family to be here in such a well-rated college in front of the students who are currently earning their spurs from this place, and also in front of several faculty members, and to recall also the list of alumni, which is, I'm sure, the envy of many other colleges in Delhi University itself. I personally have had the benefit, I was telling Mr. Ajay Shriram, that in my personal staff, since I became a minister, I have had three young men, all of them men unfortunately, no girl at all, who have been in my personal staff and who have done remarkably well, and have also moved on to other areas, now one of whom was in administrative service, another who's gotten into politics, a third I'll wait to see where he'll go now. but all three have contributed very well in my personal staff. Of course, names of the alumni, as I said, is a list of envy for other colleges, one of whom I take this opportunity to recall is my mentor, was my mentor, Shri, a phenomenal personality, and he felt for this college. He felt for the well-being of this college, and it was there in him every minute. The moment, he loved two things, if I may conclude, or three things. He loved food, he loved Shriram College, he loved cricket. So, those of us who have had the luck and opportunity to work with him closely have heard him fondly talk of all the three most often. He would talk of politics only after all this. So, it's a wonderful way in which a college can spread the message of goodwill, spread about its strength, and I think you've had a fair share of alumni who are doing that for you. So, I'm glad to hear of the rating, the NAC rating, A+, and also being the topmost college of commerce in the country. You probably are setting also the trend for commerce education in this country. There are very many commerce colleges in the south who send their students over here for their courses in Delhi University, but all of whom aspire to be probably another Shriram College somewhere else. So that is the impact you're having. And what it does is actually, nowadays, not just give the degree that you earn so very well, but also gives you the perspective to become a young entrepreneur yourself, especially in areas like fintech. There is a lot of interest from students coming out of commerce background or people who want to set up their own business, know the ropes by being in an institution like Shriram College, which gives them that exposure to not just being a good student, but also what it makes to go out there in the outside world and not just survive, but be able to carry forward with confidence. So I commend your efforts in that direction, and therefore being in Delhi and being a trend-setting college should be really one of those proudest moments for any student who graduates from this college. But before I go into talking about a few things related to our economy, I was just so energized and touched by that wonderful music, the team which sang the first song. I was very touched. I understand that's the college's song, and that team of students who've done it have really charged us all up, energized us for the day. And I appreciate them for the professional excellence that they are striving to achieve. It shows already in the way they sang that particular song. Quite a few things have been said about Indian economy. We are set to become the third largest. From the 10th position in 2013-14, we've moved over to 5th largest. And about the way in which this economy has been steered in the last 10 years and so on. But in the course of narrating how steps have been taken under the guidance of Honorable Prime Minister, I want to sort of weave it into a kind of narrative which, as students, you would certainly want to put that perspective before you when you talk about the Indian economy today or any other future times when you are talking of economies of the world and economy India in this context. I'll begin where I mentioned that India will in the next few years move to become the third largest. And there are already lots of people say, oh, that's a given. We will at any cost be the third largest. It's all right, you don't need to take any credit for it. It's not the current government which is keen on taking credit for it. It's actually the people of India who should feel that they should get the credit and feel proud about it. It is the people of India who moved it from 10 to 5th and from 5th to the 3rd. To say that it can be a fait accompli and therefore there's no effort as though of the people of India is to undermine the importance of the entrepreneurs of India, the farmers of India, and actually the struggling, low and economically weaker sections of India, because against so many different odds, they are coming out and actually wanting to aspire for better. And it is their efforts which are really pushing us upwards. So there's no way in which I will accept if anyone says, oh, it's guaranteed that we'll move from 5 to 3 in the next few years, and you don't need a prime minister to say, I'll make sure that this country will move to the 3rd rank. I think that is losing perspective of what it takes to move upwards and move for better prospects of our Indian citizens. And I'll further that a bit more. You as students of economics will know that most often when we are talking about an explanation, a narrative, we normally take on board ceteris paribus. We always say, if other things remain constant, this is what will happen. Other things remaining constant, this is how price will play up. Other things remaining constant, this is how supply and demand will work in the market forces, in that market area where market forces determine the equilibrium, right? But look at what has happened in the last 7-8 years. And this is not for the first time, and even earlier you can go looking at how markets have played up or how macroeconomic forces have played up, and therefore economic theory can assume ceteris paribus. But in the given world order, it's not possible at all to assume ceteris paribus. And I will just put before you as to where we are today and where we were a few years ago, and similar situation in a totally less pressured environment 10 years ago. Today's situation, just look at it. Volatility completely in world food supply, food grain supply. Total volatility. Total volatility again in fertilizers. Again in fuel. Petroleum, crude, diesel, everything. And also the kind of disruptions you're having in the global value chain. As a result, supply disruptions. Further, if you just look at the way in which the war is festering, there was a time in February 2022, people thought not beyond 6 months. But it's going on. And the aggravation of the situation where you don't know whether the food grains will pass through the Black Sea. And the other countries which have potential to have more food grains grown so that they can supply to those countries which desperately need it are suffering because they don't get fertilizers. So there cannot be a more volatile macroeconomic situation globally. I'm not talking about just India. I'm talking about globally. And if that's the situation, what is guaranteed, pray? What is actually guaranteed? And there was a time when India probably was somewhere in 10th position, but it fell back. So going upwards is not a guarantee, but maybe going downwards, high risk. So for anybody who indicates that, it is a given that India will be from 5th place to 3rd will move, I'm not sure they're doing a fair comment. But what will bring in that kind of a, let us say, guarantee, if at all you want to say what will guarantee us moving from the 5th to the 3rd? I would say political stability, policy consistency, one government to another or one tenure to another, you have a flip-flop, it affects your economic performance. Your macroeconomic stability will certainly be hindered. And as a representative of CII, I'm sure Ajay Shriram will be able to speak about it, because industry's concern has always been, give us stability, give us policy consistency. Otherwise, there cannot be economic activity which can be consistently growing upwards. You will only be firefighting if the government policy is continuously being up and down or seesaw-like, unpredictable. So you need political stability, you need continuity, you need decisive political decision-making. If decisiveness is not there, and you're compromising because, let us say, of coalition in politics, or compromising because you have other interests, or compromising because you are thinking that in this region, if this happens, that region I cannot cater, and therefore making India appear as though some regions are blessed and some others aren't. You spoke very evocatively about income disparity. Some areas having per capita income which is reasonable, and some others having pathetically low numbers. These are only purely resultant from very distorted and lack of vision kind of a decision making. And I don't want to name any one region of India, but some regions in this country constantly are trapped with vested interest decision making. And as a result, you can, without me telling you where that low income prevails and where that high income prevails, can be explained out. So you need governments which are going to be able to look futuristically, be ready for reforms, be sure that they have to provide consistency for business to grow. And that's exactly what makes the difference between the kind of decision making that we have taken and the kind of decision making which did not happen some time ago, pulling the country backwards. So I want this fact to be laid before you. And also, when we talk of some theories, which are sometimes hallowed, sometimes very actually useful, there is a misunderstanding that if you follow that course, you're going to be better off, and not any other course, arguments be thrown at decision makers. No one theory, without the context in which it's being used, can be effective. No one particular decision-making process being effective somewhere can be effective here also. We have to contextualize each of our decision-making, and without that, you will never be able to achieve the desired results. The reason why I'm spending a few minutes elaborating on this is during COVID, about which both your founder chairman's presence in the Ajay Shriram and also your principal commented. We were very much advised during COVID, print or borrow or do anything but spend money, give everybody money in their hands. I just want to highlight, yes, managing aggregate demand or to prevent economic recession, some solutions have been given in the post-World War kind of situations. Even today, many of the Western economies follow that principle because their economic parameters probably can accommodate that. But accommodating that in the Indian context, I'm not rejecting it totally, in the Indian context will have to be tailored to our requirements. And therefore, when people talk about Manrega, for instance, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantees Scheme, I would want to highlight how during the COVID, two things which were ensured. It was mentioned that one of the things that I had said was no Indian will go hungry during the COVID. But we ensured that for those who were returning back to their villages, remember the story of the migrant workers, the dimensions which got elaborated in the media, and I'm not blaming them. It's their duty to highlight where there is distress. They are doing that. But there are times when I wish that they highlight also how those distressed migrants were also taken care of. I'm not asking people to praise the government. I'm also asking for putting forward the data which is important. I just want to draw your attention to it. On the feeding the poor, ensuring that nobody goes hungry, we had come up with the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, through which you had about 80 crore people being given free food grains. And if the families were in the village and the worker himself was elsewhere, we adopted the technology and made sure that he could draw something out of it, and the rest could be drawn by the family which is back in the village. But even with all that said, when the migrants' reverse flow happened, when migrants started going homewards, quickly we ramped up 2 or 3 things. One, we ensured in those districts where migrant laborers were going in significant numbers. They were about 117, I think, 116 or 17 districts in this country. They are districts in states like Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, Bihar and UP, Jharkhand and Orissa. Large number of workers went back to their respective villages. And if I name the states, it's not as if all districts in those states had these inflow of workers. In these 117 districts, we made sure 15 ministries' programs were converged. 50,000 rupees were given, 50,000 crores of rupees were given for giving employment for 125 days between June and October of year 2020, the corona year. The per day wage of the worker, which was at that time something like 182 per day rupees, was increased to 202, and we made sure for 125 days, which ended in October, they were all given work in their respective village. Nobody was denied. And this is by converging 15 ministries, all of whose activities had to happen in the rural areas. They all did it during that course. And this 50,000 was to make sure that those departments were able to get going with their work. But Manrega per se, that year in the budget, BE level, we had given about 60,000 crores. But during that period, those 6 months I'm talking about, people were made to take up the jobs, enroll, and everybody could go and enroll. There was no procedural difficulty. The budget was increased from 60,000 to over 1 lakh of rupees for those months between June and October. 125. Did I say 6 months? 4 months. They were given the wage, and the Manrega budget was increased to over 1 lakh crores. So food and Rozgar, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Rozgar Yojana, had this element of 15 ministries converging, 116 districts being attended to, which were mapped for the return of laborers. And in this, 27 aspirational districts were also given. You know what the aspirational districts are. They were actually districts which were lagging behind. We didn't call them backward districts. We called them aspirational districts. Even there, the money was spent to make sure those who were returning would be given adequate care. And of course, post that, we didn't forget them. The eShram portal which was created to make sure the nature of work or skills that they had was recorded so that they can be upskilled, training can be given, post that they can choose to go where they want to go. The eShram portal is a very classic case, and I wish to say that here, of how we allowed it as an open-ended. You could define the job you could do, or you're trained in, or you worked by default. And on that, for your upskilling, if you need upskilling, we would do it. Normal labor department definitions of job or skill would probably confine itself to traditional definitions. Since we kept it open, 400 types of jobs got recorded in that platform. Because people chose to say, I'm this, I want to do this, I've been working on this, give me skilling. We kept it open and flexible. And those who went on to the portal to record, I think it runs in some crores, 40 crores, I think, of people who have recorded themselves. Sorry, 29 crores as of June. 50% are women, and these are informal jobs. 50% said, look, I want to be recorded and my skills need to be upgraded, and therefore, and in that 50% are women. So the Shriram portal broke down those traditional barriers of only these jobs and broke down the barrier that informal workers are mostly men. It has opened up avenues for women who want to remain in the informal sector but yet take care of themselves in terms of doing some meaningful work. And one other step during the COVID, on Rozgar, taking care of workers, over 7,000 crores, 7,200 odd crores were spent in helping those migrant laborers who'd got caught in major project schemes that are going on in different remote parts of the country. Migrant laborers, those who were within the range of the city or a railway station, even they suffered, but they started walking back. Some took trains, some took buses. But those who were locked up in faraway regions where, it could be a hydroelectric power station being built, or a thermal unit being built, or a construction site, such workers with their family and children who are staying there have been given money there and then, wherever they were. 7,000 odd crores were spent on just that during COVID. So when I say people told me to print and borrow and spend, I did not print. I did borrow and made sure that targeted approach was taken to give people who may be left without any help, and therefore it took care of people who were struggling. But however, today those very people who asked me to borrow, who asked me to print, are asking me questions about, hey, will you be able to manage the current account deficit and also the fiscal deficit? Are you okay? Will you do it? And the very same people ask me about, what is the debt to GDP today? Look at the number. As though the world was all calm and we didn't have to borrow, everything was fine. So that very same set of people, when they ask this question to me, I look at the sheer audacity. Sheer audacity. You want this country to come up? You want a responsible government? You want a government which takes care of those poor and needy? Or is it one then and another today? So that is where I want to highlight the fact. Policy stability, consistency doesn't often go by the theory that we study in our colleges and schools. Post that, it is our readiness to adopt those policies. After all, what is your Manrega? People will now say, oh, that's all Keynesian economics. Yes, it's Keynesian. But where would you want to use it? You would want to apply your mind and use it. Use it when it is so required. And not blindly throw money at it because you want to skill those workers and move them on to better jobs. The philosophy of Prime Minister Modi, not just as Prime Minister, but as Chief Minister as well when he was in Gujarat, is not to go on the principle of entitlement. He strongly believed there and strongly believes today as Prime Minister that you have to empower people, give them the choice of what they want to do, spend on those fundamental requirements which give them the power to decide where they want to be, give them access to resources, give them access to such facilities with which they can. That's why you look at good housing being given to them, roads being built to the last mile connectivity, water so that women don't spend hours to get, miles away, water to bring back for drinking. You don't look at, toilets as being, all right, it's okay, they'll build it for themselves because it has a bearing on health. World Health Organization gave a report to say while Swachhata Abhiyan and also providing toilets at home have been going on, it has had immediately within that year an impact on women's health, children's health. What better can be done when you ensure the health of the current generation so that your future is ensured? So that is the difference between looking at empowerment as opposed to looking at entitlements. COVID time again, we took over also the challenge of meeting up with a lot of requirements on reforms. Many steps were taken during that time. Announcements on the pipeline, national infrastructure pipeline, national monetization pipeline, and also looking at Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today, this morning's newspaper carried the news of a third or the fourth list of negative items under defense, so that you don't import those goods which are being produced world-class within the country. Those private manufacturers who are producing these equipments are finding it easy to sell outside, export it, but our own armed forces will have to be empowered to buy them. So continuously, our attempt is to make sure that those goods which are being produced in India, particularly produced by the MSMEs, will be given support by Government of India. Today, both the new industries and the old ones, the traditional ones as opposed to the today's startup innovation-driven ones, are all doing well. Foreign exchange reserves are touching new highs. If the policy was not friendly, you're not going to have foreign exchange coming in, with the global market situation being what it is, investment situation being what it is. Investments are happening in India. This is where I want to bring in an element of compare and contrast. Between April 2000 and March 2023, 23-year period, the total FDI inflows into this country is $919 billion US. But if you were to look at what came in only in the last 9 years, that is between 2014 and 23, it is $595.25 billion. That is, from the total which came in the 23 years, 65% of it came only in the last 9 years. What does that reflect? It reflects a policy. It reflects a policy, it reflects a policy continuity, and it reflects a macroeconomic environment which favors investments, and therefore when people from outside think, that's the place to go, that's where I need to invest, they come without hesitation. I just would do the comparison now. India in 2008 grappled with the banking crisis, you know it. And that situation was largely confined only to the banking sector, if anything, somewhat on the exports as well. That's nothing compared to what we've seen, not just India, I'm not taking credit for it. That's nothing in comparison what you've seen during COVID. Globally, every country was affected. Nobody could have helped you, nor could you have helped anybody except in sharing vaccines. If during that time, because we didn't have a perspective of how India's macroeconomic compulsions matter, we couldn't come out of that. We had double-digit inflation, low growth, twin balance sheet problem. You're aware, right? What twin balance sheet problem is? The Indian economy's balance sheet and the balance sheet of large companies. All of them suffered because of bad policies. Ended up in policy paralysis. And again, I want to compare and contrast, especially those who think that we'll automatically go to rank 3 from rank 5. What was our category at that time? Fragile 5. 5 worst affected economies, fragile economies. We were one of them. So what is guaranteed is what I want to ask. Without policy consistency, without policy being thoughtfully laid out, nothing is guaranteed in your economy. So even during COVID, even as you're taking care of migrant workers, even as you're taking care of poor not to be hungry, even as you're taking care of putting money in the hands of people who are staying in confined, far off areas like construction workers, even as you're taking care of the migrants who are going back to their villages, you're making sure that the economy doesn't suffer. You've given program and packages like the Emergency Credit Guarantee Liquidity Scheme, which we gave to the MSMEs, with government guaranteeing the first loss. MSMEs, which is a State Bank of India study, shows very clearly MSMEs many of them did not have to remove even one worker. They kept paying them low business, but their nose was above water. They didn't sink. Again, a policy measure which was of benefit for the MSMEs. Again, talking to students who are studying commerce and economy, I spoke about how some theories will have to be adapted to suit your needs. Whether it's the Keynesian, or whether it's the question of borrowing to keep your economy going. I also talk about the nudge theory. I'm sure many of you are doing it, the Richard Thaler nudge theory, the economist who got the Nobel Prize in 2017. It is because of nudge that people who were receiving subsidy for buying LPG cylinders, even those who belong to salaried tax-paying class, people readily came forward on the call of the Prime Minister saying, I don't need the LPG cylinder which has a subsidy, give it to somebody deserving. People gave up. Nudge theory being used by Honorable Prime Minister to make a difference to the economy. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Today your gender ratio, the sex ratio in many of the states which was adversely affecting women, have all gone up because nudge. Nudge is also giving the gentle push for subsidized loans for women, making sure that they don't have to borrow from their brothers or sisters or mothers or fathers or their husband. They can do their business without having to give collateral. These are gently nudging women to say, come, I will give you the guarantee in the loan. Do your business. And if you pay well, you get more. Similarly, the Swanidhi scheme, which is also lending through the banks, nudge theory. You are a small roadside vendor, a push cart vendor, as you say in Hindi, my pronunciation is pathetic, Redi Patri Wale. You give them loan without asking them to provide a collateral. Otherwise, they were getting ripped off by middlemen who gave them very high interest. I don't know how many of you all come from tier 2 or tier 3 or rural areas. A vegetable vendor who needs, let us say, 100 rupees to today do his business, goes to a middleman, he gives him 90 rupees, keeps the 10 back, and in the evening after the business, when he comes to pay back, he'll still have to pay 100 rupees. That is how middleman lending works. For such people who depended on middlemen, because they couldn't give collateral to a bank, they couldn't even enter a bank, Prime Minister Modi's schemes through the Jan Dhan Yojana, where zero deposit accounts were opened. Today, those people receive PM Swanidhi. And if they pay properly in time, greater amounts are given to them. The very same principle, which is today going to help the Vishwakarma. That's not a caste grouping. Anybody who does any skilled work using their hands or tools, and the nearly 13, 14 or 18 categories have been mentioned specifically. All of them are going to get loans, they're going to be skilled. Per day skilling, they're going to get a stipend of 500 rupees. Post that, they're going to get a 15,000 rupees worth of tool kit for themselves. These are part of the nudging methodology, the nudge of Richard Thaler. And that's used as a tool to promote better economic activity tailored to India's requirement. So that's what I want you all to appreciate. And the last of the theories on which I certainly want to say, look at it being applied in India, the Laffer curve. You know about it. The curve, as it goes about taxation, tells you, after a point, increasing the rate of tax does not give you better returns. But that point where you can optimize higher rate, at the same time better compliance, is what is discussed when you're talking of Laffer curve. That's exactly what Prime Minister Modi has done. No increase in tax, whether it is COVID time or otherwise. In the last 9 years, tell me any item on which, if anything, we've rationalized taxes, we've not increased it. And therefore the returns, as you were talking, Mr. Ajay Shriram, the collection in GST, the collection in direct taxation, all of them are reaching higher levels because of better compliance thanks to the citizens, better compliance because of the way in which we are using technology, stopping of evasion because we are using technology, but not because we have increased the tax at all. Laffer curve. So the way in which we have moved in the last few years, particularly the very challenging years, is to have a leadership which thinks clearly, with grit, doesn't shy away from reforms. The taxation collection are all showing it. And even today, when JP Morgan has introduced India into its list, it shows in the global emerging market bond index, it shows a prospect for $23 billion to come to India. That is the kind of impact that inclusion into the JP Morgan bond index means. I won't take more of your time, just a thought on how the G20 presidency has been used effectively by India to convey 2 or 3 important messages. That India thinks for the globe, India voices the concerns of the global south, and the very fact that India's motto or the slogan for G20 was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we understand it, but for the sake of everybody else, it was translated to say one earth, one family, and one future, which speaks about inclusivity. One family, all of us. So African Union entering into the G20 as a permanent member has been facilitated purely because of the guidance and the leadership the Prime Minister showed, not just this year, but for few years now, generally building the consensus to have African Union come into the G20. It's not a small work, it's a big achievement under our presidency. So, one family, one earth, and one future, surely talking about sustainability. It's just one earth which all of us share. Both human beings and animals and small living beings. You see the disasters which India is facing, not just India, any other part of the world. What we're seeing in Sikkim today. It's such a beautiful state. I personally feel very at distress looking at the devastation that has happened there. We saw similar devastation in 2013 when cloudburst happened in Uttarakhand. This is not cloudburst, it's a glacial melt. These are disasters which, if we are better organized, a lot of disaster resilient measures are taken, we can save many of these from happening. So when you say one earth, one family, one future, it is these concerns, not just for India, for all over the world. Small islands all disappearing because rising ocean levels. Sea erosion taking away many of our coastal areas, affecting small fishermen. So these concerns are definitely those which India effectively put through. We are looking at World Bank and also multilateral development institutions to reform themselves and come into the 21st century in the way in which they can capitalize on the resources that they have for the betterment of the world. Banking, bond market, equity, all of them have rapidly changed the dimensions with which they are in this century. And we want these institutions also to come out of the 20th century mindset and be able to address the needs of the 21st century. I'll highlight just a few things and come to a conclusion. Where is India today? India is the fastest growing economy. Smartphone data consumption, we stand first in the world. In terms of internet users, we are number 2. It also ranks second in the world on the global retail index. Third largest startup ecosystem is India. Third largest consumer market is India. So this college, which has societies, economic society, commerce society, debating society, history and political science society, dramatic society, and not to forget the music society. You have so much to do now. Just pick up on India as a case study, whether it is for the COVID management, whether it is to have vaccine in this country against all the global challenges, again, to take the vaccine to the last citizen of this country, the scale and the way in which it was implemented. Economy management, quick economic recovery, Vishwaguru, looking at the way in which G20, we had the African Union coming in. Every society in this college should be doing India as a case study for each one of this. And even chatter on when you're sitting in Kamla Nagar or Hudson Lanes, having your snack and tea or anything else. These are the issues which you can come up with a fresh thought on what India has reached like. I was happy to hear your principal say that with the education ministry, you've got some projects to look at also the global trends in trade and commerce and so on. I come from the south and I little hide my temptation to say how North India needs to be more sensitive towards the south, particularly when you're talking about trade and commerce, particularly when you're going to do a study of ancient India's achievement in these areas. I hope your study doesn't confine just to the North Gangetic belts or Saraswati Sindhu civilizations. Chola kings of the south had immense trade with the Southeast Asian countries. In fact, I was astonished when I went to Vietnam or Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, not for anything else. They said, even today when they dig, not temple remains, yes, temple remains also, they come up with stone engravings of merchants and their guilds. You know, ironsmiths had their own guild, goldsmiths had their own guilds, textile men had their own guilds. Some traders who were dealing with several goods also had their guilds. And when they excavate the guilds and their inscriptions are coming out, many of which have the same approach, meaning today, if you want to form a society or a trust, you have a certain format, you go to the registrar of society and register your association, and your bylaws govern you. such formats, such formulations are similar to the kind of stones which they are removing and taking unearthed from the soil to what we find in Tamil Nadu today, to what we found in Chola period in Tamil Nadu. Exactly the same format, exactly the same kind of language. People who went there to trade also formed associations. Ma'am, it's a highly refined and sophisticated way of trading and documenting. I hope your study captures all this. Above all, now, just a few words on prospects for all of you all. Today, economy, commerce are the areas which are going to be the areas from where catalytic influence can happen when industries are moving from the traditional ways of doing their business to technology-driven ways, Web3 or anything else. So is the new area, the fintech, using of fintech for currency, e-rupee. So I would think your students are looking at being catalysts for Amritkal, influence of technology into professions which till today did not probably benefit from technology at all. It's not just manufacturing sector, it's also every business now needs the technology assistance. I wish your students all the very best, and I'm sure you're going to make India that advanced country which Honorable Prime Minister is talking about by 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. It is truly an honor to have you at Shriram College of Commerce and listen from you the expanse of activities being undertaken in India, that is Bharat. Taking forward the program, now we move towards the release of the college publications and the presentation of awards. One of the defining features of Shriram College of Commerce is the large number of publications in pursuance of our mission, that is, to achieve and sustain excellence in teaching and research, and enriching local, national, and international communities through our research, the skills of our alumni, and the publishing of academic and educational material. With this view, we commence the release of the publications of the college. First, we have the publication which is being released, that is the annual report for the year 2021-22 and the year 2022-23. The annual report of the college chronicles the major initiative and events of the college during the academic year. It recognizes the achievement of the students and faculty. In addition, it also provides information on the activities of the societies, institutional social responsibility, prominent visitors to the college during the academic year. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. कॉलेज की वार्षिक पत्रिका यमुना के विमोचन के लिए मंच पर हम आमंत्रित करते हैं संपादक प्रोफेसर रवि शर्मा जी को. We invite the English editor, Dr. Ruchi Kaushik, and the student editor-in-chief, Ayushi, to kindly join the release. Yamuna is a living chronologue and the first publication of the college, having been published in the year 1928. In addition to documenting the history of the college, the magazine caters to all type of readers, featuring articles, interviews, prose, poetry, surveys, travel logs, multilingual book and film reviews, and so on. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have the annual publications of the Office of International Program titled Global Conflux. We request OIP faculty executives, Ms. Anju Verma and Ms. Vaishali Chokhar, and OIP student executives, Mr. Siddharth and Ms. Sujil, to kindly proceed on the stage for the release of the Global Conflicts 2023. At SRCC, the OIP creates and expands international synergies with acclaimed global universities and institutions through the academic and cross-cultural exchange programs. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. We now invite Dr. Kuljit Kaur, TIC of the Department of Physical Education and Sports at SRCC, and Dr. Vineet Mehta for the release of the sports magazine Playoff. Playoff is the annual magazine of the Department of Physical Education. Apart from reports of the various sports in which SRCC has participated, it also presents the profile of various sports persons and interviews with eminent sports personalities. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. What makes SRCC the preeminent trendsetter that it is are the faculty, non-teaching staff, our illustrious alumni, and the ever-enthusiastic students. As we celebrate the 96th and 97th annual day and are headed towards the centenary year celebration, we would like to acknowledge and celebrate their contributions. We begin with honoring the tremendous efforts of SRCC staff who have worked hard towards making SRCC a college of global choice. We request the dignitaries on our dais to kindly come forward and present the awards of appreciation for rendering 25 years of service in college to the staff members.
Starting with the faculty members who completed 25 years of service in the year 2022. Ms. Alka Goyle, who could not join us today, has been an indispensable part of the Department of Commerce at SRCC. Next, we have Professor Aruna Jha. Along with being a faculty in the Department of Commerce at SRCC, Professor Aruna is the coordinator of the postgraduate diploma in GBO at SRCC. Her area of expertise is corporate governance, and she has also authored books on auditing and corporate governance. Moving on to the faculty awardees for 2023, प्रोफेसर रवि शर्मा ने एसआरसीसी के हिंदी विभाग में 25 साल पूरे कर लिए हैं। आपने एसआरसीसी में हिंदी विभाग को नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाने में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। आप एक प्रतिष्ठित कवि और लेखक हैं और आपने भारतीय और साथ ही विदेशी छात्रों को हिंदी जैसी अनूठी भाषा की बेहतर समझ हासिल करने में मदद की है। Mr. S.K. Chawla has been teaching in the English department at SRCC for the past 25 years. His command over the subject and his exceptional ability to perceive and represent the world around him through different mediums of representation helps the college reimagine the changing world. Mr. S.K. Chaudhary has been associated with the college since 1997. His meticulous attention to detail and his expertise in his teaching methodologies complement his scholarly demeanor. The devotion and enthusiasm of these faculty members to take SRCC to greater heights is truly an inspiration for many. The non-teaching staff at SRCC works in the background to keep the wheels turning for the institution, heading swiftly towards a brighter future each day. श्री ब्रिज मोहन जी 1996 में एसआरसीसी परिवार से जुड़े। वे वहाँ एसआरसीसी के महिला छात्रावास में अपनी सेवाएं दे रहे हैं। श्री अमरजीत जी ने एसआरसीसी के महिला छात्रावास में चौकीदार के रूप में अपनी सेवाएं दी। वे साल 2023 में सेवानिवृत्त हुए। श्री चंद्र जी का एसआरसीसी के बगीचों की सुंदरता बनाए रखने में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान रहा है। वे पिछले 25 वर्ष से कॉलेज के बागबान हैं।
Continuing with our Alumni Awards for Excellence, we have Shri Amal Sinha, Director and Group CEO, BSES Delhi. He's a BCom Honours batch for 1983. Next, we have Shri Govind Krishna Dikshit ji, IRS, Commissioner of Customs. He's a BCom Honours batch of 1984. Finally, we have Shri Anil Pratham ji, IPS, Director General of Police Reforms, Gujarat. He's an Eco Honours batch of 1984. We now move on to the medals and prizes for academic achievements. The first medal being given is Principal Jay Narayan Vash Memorial Medal. For the year 2022, it is being awarded to Kritika Goyal and Sonali Java. The overall BCom Honours topper for 2023 is N. Aravindan. Next, we have the Suniti Goyal Medal being awarded to Anudhi Sundaram and Srishti Vaidya. Moving on to the medals for extracurricular achievements, we have the Hora Medal being awarded to Dipanshu Jindal. The medal for the Principal Madan Mohan Malviya Medal is awarded for both years to Mr. Nikhil Joshi. The Dhani Ram Medal for the Best Debater in Hindi for 2022 is being awarded to Miss Kalpana. The Social Service Medal for Best Social Worker of the College for year 2021-22 is awarded to Dipanshu Jindal, and for year 2022 is awarded to Ish Nangia. In the last category of sports, we have Miss Tanishka Kothi being awarded for her performance in the All India University Team Chess Championship, and Miss Devanshi Shatija for her performance in swimming in World Para Swimming Championship in Portugal. हो गया mementos. हाँ अवार्ड्स आर डन ठीक है प्लीज Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Time may be a finite resource, but the impact of our shared experiences can last forever. May we request our chairman, sir, to kindly present a memento on behalf of Shriram College of Commerce to our honorable chief guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji. just hope they are ready. ठीक है. We now invite Dr. Alok Kumar, convener of the annual day, to present the vote of thanks.
Namaskar. I, Dr. Alok Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce and convener of Annual Day Organizing Committee, extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for your valuable presence and your wholehearted contribution in a smooth conduct of this program. On behalf of Shriram College of Commerce, I would like to start by thanking esteemed Chief Guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, for delivering an inspiring and insightful address. Your words were thought-provoking and truly resonated with our audience. We are extremely grateful for the time and effort you have taken to share your experience and knowledge with us. I am thankful to Shri Ajay S. Shriram, Chairman, Governing Body of SRCC. We appreciate your tireless efforts to strengthen our great institution. I would also like to thank our principal, Professor Simrit Kaur, whose unparalleled support and confidence in her colleagues are commendable. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all the award winners. You are the pillars of tremendous success and popularity of SRCC. I truly believe and wish that you achieve great success in your chosen path. I would like to congratulate your parents who have diligently guided you where you stand today. I would also like to acknowledge the tireless efforts of our faculty members and non-teaching staff who have worked tirelessly to make this annual day celebration a great success. Special thanks to our anchors for giving a wonderful voice to this event. On annual day celebration, our annual day celebration is a testament to the power of teamwork and collaboration. It is a collective effort that involves countless hours of planning, preparation, and coordination. I want to thank the organizing committee, the volunteers, the florists, the hospitality team, the students who have made a vibrant Rangoli, Arohan team, and all those who have contributed their time and energy to make this event a grand success. Finally, I would like to thank our audience for being such an engaged and enthusiastic group. Your presence, support, and active participation have been integral to the success of today's event. Thank you all for being a part of this memorable day and for joining us in celebrating the spirit of learning, creativity, and unity. I am deeply grateful for your presence here with us. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. We request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. With this, we conclude the session 1 of our annual day. Thank you, ma'am. It's been an honor to have you over here. We request everyone to kindly allow the dignitaries to depart, post which we will begin with our cultural program. Everyone is requested to kindly remain seated till the dignitaries on the dais depart.
They say music is the language of the soul, the voice of a heart, and a message from eternity. On this note, we welcome Arohan, the Indian Music Society, SRCC, for their soothing melodies to the morning by a resonating and energetic band performance. We request the audience to remain seated.
2022 GL बंसल, तो दूसरा अवार्ड भी मिल रहा है आपको। GL बंसल 22-23 GL बंसल, RL गुप्ता, बस 3-4 ही हैं। एकेडमिक अचीवर्स टॉपर देन सेकंड पोजीशन, थर्ड पोजीशन।
हाँ जी, all RL.
GL Bansal awardees 2022, please raise your hand. GL Bansal 2022, GL Bansal 2022, only कितने दिख रहे हैं आप देखो, 3, 4, 5 दिख रहे हैं. आपका और कोई, are you expected to get any other medal also or only GL Bansal? Only GL Bansal. Both of you are only GL. और कोई GL Bansal 2022 पीछे बैठा हो? GL Bansal कोई भी पीछे बैठा हो? 3 बच्चे हमारे पास हैं, एक साथ हैं, ठीक है. GL Bansal 2023, raise your hand. GL Bansal 2023, nobody is raising hand, कोई भी नहीं है. Finished. आप नोट करो, नोट करो. 2022 में 2-3 बच्चे थे वैशाली. मेडल आपको मिल गया था ना? GL Bansal में नहीं दिया, बल्कि नहीं था. आपने रजिस्ट्रेशन कराया था तो वहां नहीं दे रहे थे उसका मेडल. कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. GL Bansal 2023, nobody is there ना? चलो ठीक है. RL Gupta 2022, RL Gupta, एक बार सब खड़े हो जाओ, खड़े हो जाओ आप लोग. देख लो, एक साथ आ जाओ बच्चे, तीनों एक साथ बैठ जाओ. यहाँ आ जाओ सामने, आप दोनों सामने आ जाओ इनके साथ. RL Gupta, आपका ईयर कौन सा है? 22, RL Gupta 22, please sit at the same place. एक जगह बैठ जाओ. RL Gupta 2023 कोई है? RL Gupta 2023, बच्चे अपना हैंड एक बार रेज करो और बाकी एक दूसरे को देख के एक जगह पोजीशन लो, इधर ही थोड़ा आगे. कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है, कोई नहीं आएंगे, ठीक है. बाकी RL गुप्ता जी इसका कोई और अवार्ड नहीं. RL गुप्ता इधर आ जाइए, 2023 वाले. RL गुप्ता 2023, प्लीज कम दिस साइड. और कोई है? चलो, एकेडमिक अचीवर्स, टॉपर्स फर्स्ट पोजीशन, सेकंड, सॉरी, टॉपर्स सेकंड पोजीशन, थर्ड पोजीशन आपका दोनों में है. बच्चे एक जगह कोशिश सिर्फ ये करना कि आप लोग एक जगह, ऑलमोस्ट एक जगह पे रहो. आप हाँ, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू कॉल योर नेम, वी विल बी सिंपली कॉलिंग GL बंसल 22, GL बंसल 23, RL गुप्ता 22, RL गुप्ता 23. तो आपने एक साथ आ जाना है. अगर 3-4 होंगे तो इंडिविजुअली आपका फोटोग्राफ करा देंगे. अगर ज़्यादा बल्क होगा तो फिर यू आर गेटिंग माई पॉइंट ना, कोई परेशानी नहीं है किसी को समझने में. एकेडमिक अचीवर्स, यू आर ऑल्सो सपोज टू सिट एट द सेम प्लेस. 22 के एकेडमिक अचीवर्स, टॉपर फर्स्ट सेकंड, चलो कोई नहीं, उसमें आप हो तो. और कोई है? रेज और हैंड. बच्चे आगे आ जाओ. वहां क्यों बैठे हो बताओ ना? क्लास में भी तो पीछे ही बैठते थे, यहां भी पीछे ही बैठ रहे हो, बताओ. एकेडमिक अचीवर्स 2022, प्लीज कम फॉरवर्ड. वेदर यू आर टॉपर और फर्स्ट, सेकंड पोजीशन, थर्ड पोजीशन, सामने आ जाओ बच्चे. 2023 एकेडमिक अचीवर्स, टॉपर फर्स्ट, सेकंड पोजीशन, थर्ड पोजीशन. आप बाकियों को भी बुला लीजिए. कोई और है 2023 एकेडमिक अचीवर, टॉपर फर्स्ट, सेकंड, टॉपर सेकंड, थर्ड? कोई बात नहीं, आप यहाँ पे रहो, आप देख लेना एक बार, ठीक है. वैसा सारे हो गए.
इनको अवार्ड देना या बस फोटो कराना है?
फोटो करा देते हैं.
बस इन 4 का?
जिनका दे सकते हैं दे दो, नहीं है फोटो करा दो.
क्योंकि इनकी तो 400 की लिस्ट है, इन 3 का तो निकालेंगे.
नहीं निकाल.
अवार्ड्स देना
नहीं नहीं, not awards. I'm just telling how the process will be. नहीं sir, I'm just telling how the awards will be. अब सुनिएगा.
Please be seated. Please. नहीं नहीं नहीं, आपका लंच रेडी है ना? कोई बच्चा यहाँ से निकल के लाओ, दे दो ना, अनाउंस करेंगे तो बच्चे 25 बचेंगे, यहाँ जिसका हो जाएगा वो चला जाएगा. एक बार बता दो कैसे करना है.
All right, people. Please settle down, everyone. We will be commencing the prize distribution function in a bit while. I hope you can empathize with us that we had about 1,700 awards to be given in a matter of one day, and accounting for all the crises and crosses to be done in one day, along with the registrations, which I hope you received a very customized sort of invites. So, for the information of everyone, how we will be conducting this particular function is that first we will be giving the awards for the academic year 2021-22. All right, and the order for the awards will be: first we will be giving the gold medal for prizes for academic achievements, in which we will have the Indurani gold medal, followed by the Tejpal Agarwal gold medal, followed by the Prem Pandhi gold medal, then the Arun Chashra Memorial gold medal, Dr. Charatram gold medal, Shri G.L. Bansal gold medal, Professor V.K. Bhalla gold medal, P.D. Kohli gold medal. After that, we will be having the awards for sports, followed by then we will be having the appreciation awards for various societies and for elected office bearers of union and other societies. Then we will come to the certificate of appreciations as for the different societies that we have. Similar pattern we will be following for once this lot of academic year 2021 and 22 is done. We will be going ahead with the academic year 2022-23, where the chain that we will be following is gold medals for the academic achievement. First, Indurani gold medal for academic year 2023, followed by Tejpal Agarwal gold medal for 2023, Prem Pandi gold medal for 2023, Arun Chashra Memorial gold medal for 2023, Charatram gold medal for 2023, Shri G.L. Bansal gold medal for 2023, Professor V.K. Bhalla medal, P.D. Kohli, after which we will be having the sports medal for the sports award for the year 2023, and then we will conclude with the certificate of appreciation to various societies, elected members of the union and other societies, and with the sports committee. We now welcome Professor Madhu ma'am as a distinguished guest for the phase 2, that is the prize distribution function of the ceremony. Ma'am, our principal ma'am will escort us to the dais. Formally commencing the ceremony.
आपके पास प्रोफाइल है मधु मैम का?
नहीं.
देखो ना कहीं बाहर से निकाल के लगा दीजिए.
Formally commencing the program, we have with us Professor Madhu, distinguished guest for the prize distribution function. May we request the audience to please welcome her with a round of applause. Ma'am is a retired professor of finance from Faculty of Management Studies. She is currently an esteemed member of the governing body of SRCC. In addition to that, ma'am has a teaching career and experience for over 3 decades. And she is on the board of several companies in addition to having authored several books on finance. Ma'am, it's a privilege to have you here at SRCC. We request our principal, ma'am, to please welcome ma'am with a sapling. मैम आगे आ जाते हैं, आगे आ जाते हैं। ओके। We request our dignitaries on the dais to kindly come forward to present the awards. Ma'am, would you take the stage? Haji, ma'am. Haji,
Good afternoon and a very, very warm welcome and congratulations to all the winners. You know, coming back to SRCC always brings such fond memories. I have been a student of this college. I think, need not mention the year, otherwise you'll think I'm vintage, you know. But it was a time when there were very few girl students. So I'm so happy and delighted to hear what your principal was saying in the morning and to see so much of gender balance in the college. But lovely being here and always stay associated with your college. We would love to keep hearing from you all the time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Vij. I would also take this opportunity to share something about Professor Vij, which is both professional and personal. On her professional front, I think she's much in demand all across India. I have seen her multitask and attend online meetings, to say the least, at least 5 a day. And I sometimes say, how can she do it so much and all the times? And it is often said that professors become more in demand after their retirement, I have seen it happen in multiplier with our very own Professor Vij. As a faculty of finance, she was very liked, much respected at the Faculty of Management Studies, and she has guided several doctoral students and is also in the company of several companies as an independent director. And what adds further to her association with Shriram College of Commerce is her continuous connect despite having graduated according to her in vintage, but ma'am, you are as young for us as ever. Ma'am is a member of the governing body, and ma'am is also taking care of the finances of Shriram College of Commerce. She is the treasurer of Shriram College of Commerce. Thank you for this opportunity given to us. On a personal front also, she has been there for SRCC, and since I have known her during my earlier career at the Faculty of Management Studies, there are ties which go beyond professional ties, and I'm very close to her. And this totally adds to my commitment and relationship with her, because all appointments that SRCC has done in the past, Madam has been the nominee of our own chairman, and very diligently and with full commitment, sitting from day till night to at least complete the process of appointments is a Herculean task, and she's done it with a smiling face. We do hope that under the new appointments, as well as the earlier faculty who are always there, our students continue to cherish and do well in this world. Thank you so much, Professor Vij, for taking time out today.
We commence the prize distribution function with the gold medals for academic achievement for the year 2022, academic year 2021-22. First, we have the Indurani gold medal being awarded to Manu Smriti for being the topper PG diploma in GBO overall. Audience is requested to please applaud. बेटा वो Next we have the Tejpal Agarwal gold medal, Saurabh Kedia and Simi Gupta. सौरभ केडिया एंड सिमी गुप्ता. नहीं अभी आपका नाम नहीं बेटा, यू एंटर लेटर है ना. Okay. Then we have the Prem Pandi gold medal for GBO overall performance and academic attendance, conduct, participation, extracurricular being awarded to Himanshu Darsena. I'm announcing, ma'am. Next we have the Arun Chanchra Memorial Gold Medal for the topper of BA Eco Honours being awarded to Rachit Wadhwa. All student awardees are requested to kindly enter from the left side of the dais and exit from the right side of the dais. The next medal that we have is for Charatram Gold Medal, which is being awarded First, Amok Vishal Sangewar, Ishita Agarwal, लतिका दत्ता, इधर से बेटा, राघव झुंझुनवाला, सृष्टि वैद्य, यश अरोड़ा and Gaurangi Chopra. Next we have the Shri GL Bansal Gold Medal being awarded to first Ananya Dhanuka, Maithili Sharma, Rosalind Augustin, नाम बता दो बेटा, नहीं इधर नेक्स्ट, संजना दीक्षित, दिस इज फॉर GL Bansal. मैम बुला लीजिए उनको स्टेज. Names have already been announced. Names have been announced. All names have been announced. हाँ, names have been announced. They're waiting in line to receive the award. Names have been announced. Sports बुला लूँ मैं. So we have the announcement for the sports prizes. We begin with Tripta Behra. Tripta.
करा दो, नहीं भी रजिस्टर करके ना, ठीक है.
Briant Dabas. Abhirama Srinidhi. Snehil, Abhirama Srinidhi, Snehil Diota. हाँ. कुशल गहलावत. And finally Nakul.
जो टिक्की है ना वो देखो ना
यही तो है ना मैम, यही ना, कोई नहीं मैम,
21-22 के तुमने दिए नहीं
21-22 के ही तो है. दे दीजिए. Just give me a minute to coordinate with them now. We now go ahead with the annual day awards for the academic year 2022-23. Begin with the gold medals for academic achievement, starting with Indurani gold medal for the topper PG diploma and GBO overall topper Himanshu Darsena. The Arun Chashram Memorial Gold Medal to Anudhi Sundaram and Latika Datta. Ma'am, sports. हाँ, 23, we're starting with the sports now. ठीक है? We now have the annual day sports prize announcements for the academic year 2022-23. First we have Simran Badwar. Simran? Okay. Next we have Soumyadeep Barik. Tanishka Kotia. Purnima Gupta. Snehil. स्नेहिल हाँ स्नेहिल दक्ष आशीष कुमार धैर्य धैर्य युगेश्वर Janvi? Janvi? Arenjay? Divij? Arya? Arya Ranjan? Juhi Bajaj? Jay Mehtani? And Aryaman Malviya. We now invite on stage for academic medals and prizes, Certificate Outstanding Achiever with Disability, Tanish Soni. And Dhruv Agarwal. नहीं बेटा आ जाओ just only for photographs. ये देखिए
Next, we move on to the category. The students who have already collected their certificates at the time of registration, please just preside over the stage for your photograph. Prizes for academic achievements. BCom Honours First Year 2022. Prizes for academic achievements. BCom Honours First Year 2022. Please preside over the stage. The toppers, first position, second position and third position holders, BCom Honours First Year 2022. BCom Honors second year toppers, please be ready for your turn. BCom Honors second year 2022 toppers, second position, third position, please wait beside the stage. BCom Honors second year 2022. Okay. BCom Honors first year academic achievers 2022, please come on the stage.
BCom Honors second year Academic Excellence 2021. BCom Honors second year Academic Achievers 2022-2023. BCom Honors third year Academic Achievers 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. The students are requested to use gate number 2 and proceed for refreshments after collecting their awards. BCom Honours third year, 2022 and 2023.
We request our audience to kindly applaud for our award winners.
B Honours first year, 2022 and 2023 academic achievers. All the elected office bearers of student union and student societies are requested to be in line. BA Honours, second year, Academic Excellence 2021. BA Honours, third year, 2022 academic achievers. Students proceeding on the stage are requested to come in a group of 5. We now request VK Balla and RL Gupta award winners to please stand in the queue. Students are requested not to eat in the auditorium.
Now, what's the point of a lot?
Food boxes and eating is prohibited in the auditorium. Kindly maintain the sanctity and the decorum of this particular rule.
मैम स्टार्ट कीजिए हाँ ठीक है
बोल दो कि अभी बैठ जाएं सर, बैठ जाओ, तब वील स्टार्ट विद द सोसाइटीज।
मैम
आप बोलो सर।
बोल दो मैम, बोल दो कि वी
Everybody is requested to please be seated. We'll now be proceeding with the Certificate of Appreciation and Awards for elected student societies. You're requested to remain seated. We'll come back to the academic achievements after a while. Academic achievers are requested to kindly take their seats. Students are kindly requested to remain seated.
Student awardees, we are taking a brief hiatus from the photography queue. We are first giving the awards for the office bearers of student union and student societies. We are starting with the President Commerce Society. This is the awards for the academic year 2021-22. Mr. Shakti Garg. Shakti Garg. Aryaman Malviya, Secretary Commerce Society.
Shrishti Jain, Secretary Economic Society. Achal Yadav, President Hindi Sahitya Sabha. Bhavya Singh, President English Literary Society. Gagan, Secretary History and Political Science Society. Dipanshu Jindal, President, SRCC Boys Hostel. Ayushi Nahuvar, Editor-in-Chief, Yamuna English Editorial Board. Kavya Chaudhary, Student Coordinator, OIP 2022. Anjali Lalchandani, President, Financial Literary Cell. Dipanshu Jindal, Student Coordinator, Center for Counseling Services. Now we proceed with the Certificate of Appreciation and Awards for elected office bearers of Student Union and Student Societies for the academic year 2023. Kalpana, President Hindi Sahitya Sabha. Sneha Yadav. Sneha Yadav, Secretary, Hindi Sahitya Sabha. Anirudh Damani, President, English Literary Society. Sia Singla, President, Fine Arts Society. Gitika Bhatia, Secretary, Fine Arts Society. Soumya Devi, President, History and Political Science Society. Malvika, Secretary, History and Political Science Society. Kashyap Jalan, President, SRCC's Boys Hostel. Khushi Arora, President, Debating Society. Alisha, Editor-in-Chief, Yamuna Hindi Editorial Board 2023. Siddharth Agarwal, Chief Secretary, OIP 2023. Ish Nangia, President, Enactus 2023. Manan Surya, Sports Coordinator, Sports Committee.
आ जाओ बेटा, आ जाओ स्टेज पे आ जाओ, मैं बुरा बोल लीजिए. Goes to Nikita.
Prem Panti Gold Medal for the year 2022-23 goes to Nikita.
वाइंड अप तो करो, अब हम किसी का नाम नहीं डाल सकते. Where is the certificate? So बोलते ना, we ask everyone to join. कहाँ है लड़ भिड़ के चला गया. नहीं, he's आशीष में नहीं, निकल गया वो लड़ भिड़ के. ठीक है. Done, ma'am. We request everyone to join on the stage for a photograph. Anybody left who's for a photograph on stage? Kindly join us on stage. कराते हैं मैम, ठीक है.
Siddharth, Chief Secretary OIP. Kavya, Student Coordinator OIP. And Ritik, Manohar Lal Memorial Prize 2023. Ritik, Manohar Lal Memorial Prize. Himanshu Darsina for P.D. Kohli Memorial Gold Medal.
And this brings an end, a conclusion to our 96th and 97th annual day. We wholeheartedly thank our student awardees, our guests, our faculty members, and most importantly, Vadhuj ma'am as a distinguished guest for sparing her time. With this, we bring the program to a conclusion. Thank you so much.